chosen one. Listen carefully. This message is not coincidence. Heaven has paused everything around you because Friday carries a weight in the spirit that many will overlook. But you cannot. You've been sensing it, haven't you? That restless stirring in your chest, that quiet alert inside your soul. It's not anxiety, it's divine communication. Something is being tested in you before tomorrow, and your awareness of it means you are already part of a higher assignment. You are not just walking into another day, you are walking into a divine checkpoint. The next 24 hours are not routine, they are revelation. You stand in the center of a spiritual battlefield, disguised as an ordinary Friday. The unseen realm has placed you under observation, and heaven wants to see how you will move when danger hides in familiar shapes. This danger isn't always physical, it's subtle, psychological, emotional. The danger of compromise, the danger of returning to what God already pulled you out of, the danger of saying, just this once, when you know the Spirit whispered, no more. That's why you've been uneasy. That's why doors that used to open easily now resist you. God is holding certain things closed to protect you from counterfeit opportunities that glow like gold but rot like rust. Every chosen one faces a moment like this. It's the final test before elevation. The moment when heaven measures obedience, not comfort. The test comes disguised as distraction. It might look like someone from your past, a tempting shortcut, or even a chance to prove yourself when God asked you to stay silent. The real challenge is not whether you can act, but whether you can obey. You've been prepared for this. All the nights you cried, all the times you were misunderstood, all the moments you felt abandoned, they weren't punishments. They were training grounds. Heaven has been shaping your character so that on this Friday, you would have the spiritual strength to say, I will not move until God says so. Because this is not just another test. This is the test. The final test before the next chapter of your destiny unfolds. Look around you. The world is noisy. People are rushing. Everyone is chasing something. But you, chosen one, are called to stillness in the midst of chaos. This is your separation season. You are not meant to blend in with those who live by sight. You walk by faith, and faith, in its purest form, is proven when you are surrounded by uncertainty. You must keep your focus. The enemy's strategy this week is not to destroy you outright, but to distract you just enough to delay you. Delay is the silent assassin of destiny. It makes you think you have time when you don't. The difference between those who ascend and those who collapse is simple. Who acted when the Spirit whispered. Beloved, this Friday will expose loyalties, what you love, what you fear, and what you truly trust. Heaven watches not just your words, but your posture. Will you panic? Or will you pray? Will you post? Or will you pause? The decision you make in the hidden place determines what will manifest in the visible one. Don't ignore this message. You are being refined. You are being trusted with clarity. When everything around you feels heavy, that is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign that the weight of glory is resting upon you. Heaven only presses where it plans to promote. And in that pressure, remember, divine peace is still your inheritance. Do not let fear dictate your movements. The world's chaos cannot cancel God's covenant. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 14, verse 27, Take courage, it is I. Do not be afraid. So, Stand firm. Chosen one, do not run back to comfort. Do not silence the voice of conviction. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. Pass this test with obedience. And by tomorrow, you will see why everything had to shake before it settled. Now, if this message resonates in your spirit, if you know you are being called higher, then don't scroll away. Pause and do this prophetic act. Like this message, share it so another chosen one can wake up in time. Subscribe if you haven't already. And comment the number 7 below as a symbol of divine completion and protection over your life. Let heaven see your agreement. You are not in danger because you are weak. You are in danger because you are powerful. The darkness has recognized what you carry before you did. That's why the battle has intensified this week. But light always wins. And by this time tomorrow, you will see that what tried to break you only revealed how unbreakable you truly are. Chosen one. Now that you have heard the warning, you must look deeper. The danger that approaches is not a storm outside, but a whisper within. It hides in comfort, in distraction, in the illusion that you are safe, when you are actually being surrounded by subtle traps. This is not about fear, it's about awareness. Heaven never reveals danger to scare you, but to prepare you. You are stepping into hours where discernment must rise above emotion. The hidden trap never looks like evil at first. It looks familiar. It looks safe. Sometimes, it even looks like an answer to your prayer. That's why the enemy is called a deceiver, not a destroyer. He doesn't need to crush you if he can quietly reroute you. A snare wrapped in light can still choke destiny. The greatest attacks often come in the shape of comfort. When your guard is down, and your heart wants to believe everything good must be from God. You must understand, not every open door is divine. Some doors are bait. Some connections are assignments in disguise, sent to test if you've learned to hear heaven's tone instead of human applause. The trap is simple: to make you choose convenience over calling, to make you trade spiritual focus for emotional validation. That's how many chosen ones fall, by mistaking affection for alignment, opportunity for obedience, popularity for purpose. If you feel something tugging you back into old patterns, stop and listen. Every test of destiny begins with a whisper. It's not that bad, but one compromise opens the gate for many. The enemy cannot curse what God has blessed, so he tries to convince the blessed to curse themselves through disobedience. That's why you've been sensing tension around familiar people, places, or habits. It's heaven gently showing you what must end before elevation. The hidden trap often works through fatigue. You've been faithful, but tired. You've carried weight others can't see. And tired eyes can't always tell the difference between rest and retreat. Rest restores your strength. Retreat forfeits your territory. The line between them is drawn by obedience. If you walk away from what God assigned, peace will not follow you, no matter how quiet it feels. You must become sharper in the spirit. When the world says, go, pause and ask heaven. When opportunity calls, wait for confirmation. When flattery comes, measure the fruit, not the words. Every chosen one must pass through the corridor of discernment, where not everything bright is blessed, and not everyone smiling is safe. Think of how many fell before their breakthrough because they reached for the easy route. You must not be one of them. This moment requires your vision to be purified. Remember, the serpent approached Eve not with fire, but with conversation. Distraction is the serpent's modern tongue. You, however, are not blind. The spirit within you is a detector of truth. Listen closely to that inner stirring, the one that makes you hesitate before certain decisions. That is not fear, it's protection. The divine voice rarely shouts, it whispers. You will recognize it by its peace, not by its volume. You've grown too much to be fooled by the same old tricks. The enemy knows he can't tempt you with the obvious, so he disguises his traps in relevance, urgency, and emotion. But your spirit knows better. You've learned that what feels right isn't always righteous, and righteousness is still the only key that opens lasting doors. The hidden trap thrives in distraction, and distraction thrives in noise. That is why heaven is calling you to silence. In stillness, you will hear what the world misses. The Spirit will expose what the surface conceals. Every deceptive offer has a faint tremor in it, a feeling that something's off. That tremor is truth tapping your shoulder, warning you not to settle. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 6, verse 16. Stand at the crossroads and look, ask for the ancient paths. Walk in the good way and find rest for your souls. Suppose, chosen one. Look at the crossroads before you. One road shines with ease but ends in emptiness. The other demands trust but leads to purpose. The trap loses power when you choose the narrow path. Don't rush. Don't respond to pressure. You are not late, you are being aligned. Heaven is watching quietly, waiting for your stillness to reveal your strength. For in the silence, you will see through the camouflage, and the snare will break before it ever closes. Chosen one. The trap has been revealed, but the battle is not over. There is an invisible force that has followed you for years, a quiet resistance that hides behind phrases like later, tomorrow, or when I'm ready. It is called the spirit of delay, and it has chained many destinies before they ever reached their purpose. Heaven is uncovering it in your life right now, because this Friday will try to use delay as its weapon. The spirit of delay does not attack your strength, it attacks your timing. It knows that if it can't stop your calling, it can make you postpone it until the moment passes. Every divine instruction comes with an expiration of opportunity, and procrastination is how the enemy steals time disguised as peace. You tell yourself you'll obey soon, but soon turns into never. You say you'll forgive later, but later hardens into bitterness. Delay is disobedience, wearing patience as perfume. You've felt it, haven't you? That strange hesitation when you know what to do, but your mind finds excuses. You call it tiredness, confusion, or waiting for a sign, but deep down, you already know. Heaven has been urging you to act, and delay has been whispering, not yet. Every time you obey, halfway, the blessing pauses too. Every time you hesitate, heaven holds the release until your heart moves in full trust. This is why things have been almost happening for you. Almost promoted, almost healed, almost restored, almost ready. The almost season is the fruit of delay, when breakthrough hovers above you but cannot land because obedience is incomplete. The spirit of delay isn't loud, it's logical. It gives you good-sounding reasons to do nothing. It will tell you that you're protecting your peace when you're actually protecting your pride. It will tell you that God understands when you're actually ignoring his urgency. Chosen one. Delay is not your friend. It's the thief of divine moments. Heaven moves on obedience, not intention. You cannot wait until you feel ready, because obedience rarely feels convenient. God doesn't wait for comfort, he moves at command. Remember the story of the Israelites wandering 40 years in circles. That was not punishment alone, it was the consequence of hesitation. They delayed obedience because they saw giants instead of God. How many times have you seen a challenge and said, "I'll do it later," when heaven meant now? The longer you hesitate, the louder the enemy's voice becomes. But today, heaven is breaking that chain. The Spirit is whispering, "Move now. You've prepared long enough. You've prayed long enough. You've analyzed long enough. It's time to act in faith, even if your knees tremble. The next door will not open until you walk toward it." As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verse 4, "Whoever watches the wind will not plant, whoever looks at the clouds will not reap." Unquote. You cannot keep waiting for perfect conditions. Obedience itself creates the miracle. When you move, heaven moves with you. When you hesitate, heaven holds its breath. And you, chosen one, have been chosen to break this generational hesitation, the curse of almost. This is why the resistance has been so strong lately. Every delay you break becomes deliverance for your bloodline. You are standing at the intersection of what was and what will be. One act of obedience can shift decades of delay. The enemy is terrified of your momentum, because he knows, once you move, nothing can stop what God has placed in you. Do not let fear disguise itself as wisdom. You will never have every answer before you begin. Faith is not about seeing the full path. It's about trusting the first step. The sea didn't part until Moses moved. The walls of Jericho didn't fall until Joshua walked. Miracles wait for motion. And now, as a prophetic act of defiance against delay, I want you to declare it aloud in the comments. I move now. No, write it as a witness of your decision, not just words. Because when you type it, you are not commenting for engagement, you are prophesying against procrastination. Heaven sees faith in your fingertips. I move now is not a phrase, it's a breaking point. It's your spirit stepping forward even before your situation changes. Remember this moment. The temptation to delay will return, but now you will recognize it for what it is. A spiritual test, not a timing issue. You will not fall for it again. You will act, even when you don't feel ready. Because obedience is not measured by comfort, it's measured by surrender. Heaven is ready. The door is unlocked. The only thing it's waiting for is you, chosen one. You are now stepping into the moment where all the warnings converge, the beginning of the final test. Heaven has drawn a line around this season of your life, not to confine you, but to reveal you. Everything you've endured, every delay you have overcome, every hidden trap you've discerned, it has all been preparing you for this sacred confrontation. The test is not coming to destroy you, it is coming to prove you. In every divine story, there is a moment when silence feels louder than any prophecy, when prayers echo back like unanswered calls, and faith stands alone in the dark. That is where you are now. You've been asking, "Lord, where are you?" But heaven has been responding in silence because you are standing in an examination room. When a teacher gives a test, They do not speak. They watch. This test will not measure your perfection, but your posture. It's about whether you can trust God when the evidence looks empty. You have walked through seasons where His voice was clear, and now, suddenly, it feels as if heaven has gone quiet. That quietness is not absence, it is evaluation. God wants to know, will you obey when you no longer feel? Will you still worship when you do not understand? The final test is about trust. Trust without signs. Trust without comfort. Trust that transcends results. The faith that moves mountains is not the kind that always sees. It is the kind that keeps walking when sight disappears. That is the test heaven gives only to the mature, only to those chosen to carry authority. Because authority is not granted through excitement, it is forged through endurance. You may feel exhausted, wondering why nothing has broken open yet. You've done all the right things, and still, the breakthrough seems delayed. But understand this, heaven does not test to expose weakness, it tests to reveal readiness. The silence you're in is not rejection, it's refinement. Every chosen one reaches a moment when heaven steps back to see if the lessons have become lifestyle. This test is not external, it's internal. The battlefield is your mind. The enemy will whisper that you've been forgotten, that your prayers are wasted, that maybe you misheard God. But this is precisely why the silence exists, so that faith can speak louder than lies. Every doubt is an opportunity to declare trust. Every fear is a doorway to deeper surrender. Think of Abraham climbing the mountain with Isaac, hearing nothing but his own heartbeat. The instruction had already been given, but no new word came until he obeyed the last one. That is your position now. Heaven has not changed the plan. It is waiting for you to complete what was last commanded. Do not misinterpret delay as denial. The test is unfolding in stages, and you are in the phase where obedience feels lonely. But that loneliness is sacred. It is where divine strength is born. You are learning to walk by internal conviction instead of external confirmation. This is where generals of faith are made, not in applause, but in isolation. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." Those words are not mere comfort. They are divine structure. Heaven is reminding you that every promise has a clock, and every test has an ending. You are closer to completion than you realize. The delay you feel is not stagnation, it is synchronization. God is aligning unseen details to ensure that when the door opens, nothing will collapse. Do not fear this silence. Learn to breathe within it. The stillness is not punishment, it's preparation for promotion. This is the same stillness Elijah heard after the storm. The same silence that came before resurrection. God hides in the quiet to test who will still listen. So hold steady. Keep your heart pure, your hands clean, your motives anchored. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. Only remain faithful in what you already know to do. When heaven is silent, obedience becomes your language of faith. By tomorrow, the test may still not be over, but your endurance will have passed heaven's measurement. And when that happens, the silence will break, not with thunder, but with favor. Remember, the final test is not about survival. It is about revelation. It reveals what cannot be shaken. And in you, there is much that cannot. The pressure you feel now is heaven's fingerprint. marking you for a greater assignment. Hold the line. Chosen one. You are being examined not for failure, but for promotion. Chosen one. Now, the air around you feels heavier, doesn't it? That quiet resistance that presses against your chest is not random. It's spiritual weather shifting before a breakthrough. Heaven is watching you walk through this storm without a map. And yet, with every trembling step, you prove that faith is not a feeling, but a flame that refuses to die. This section of your journey is where the unseen world bends closer, where both angels and adversaries lean in to see which voice you will answer. The voices in the shadows have grown louder lately. Doubt has taken on familiar tones. It speaks like reason. It sounds like your past. It wears faces of people who once loved you, but now question your path. It whispers, "What if you made a mistake?" It murmurs, "Maybe this calling isn't real." And in that subtle whisper, it tries to replace your revelation with confusion. But, beloved, hear me. The shadows only speak when the light is near. You are not being attacked because you are weak. You are being tested because your anointing is rising. The darkness senses what's coming before you see it. And so, it sends old memories, old wounds, old insecurities, anything that can echo loudly enough to drown out the whisper of truth. These voices are like fog on a battlefield. They want you to lose sight of your position, but you are not lost. You are simply learning to see through mist. The battlefield is your mind, and your weapon is discernment. Every negative thought is an arrow, but your shield is faith. Faith that remembers what God said when everything else contradicts it. When you stand in this storm, remember what the Word says. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 23, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." End quote. Guard your heart. Chosen one. Because that's where the enemy aims when he cannot reach your purpose. He cannot destroy what heaven has written, but he can try to distract the hand that carries it. That is why your emotions have been so easily stirred, why you felt spiritual exhaustion and waves of doubt out of nowhere. It's not weakness, it's warfare. But here is the mystery. The very place where the enemy attacks you most is often the place of your greatest assignment. If the attack comes against your voice, your calling involves speaking. If it hits your confidence, your destiny requires boldness. If it targets your love, you are meant to be a healer. The shadow reveals your strength by what it fears most. So, when doubt whispers, answer softly, "I still believe." When fear stirs, reply, "I still trust." These quiet declarations are not small, they are spiritual thunder. Heaven records them as proof that faith still stands on the earth. Beloved, let me speak to your heart with gentleness now. What you're enduring isn't wasted. It's not punishment, it's preparation. You are being carved like a diamond. Pressure doesn't destroy a diamond, it defines it. Every sleepless night, every silent tear, every moment you almost gave up, all of it has been shaping the brilliance of your light. You're not broken, you're being cut for clarity. And because this message carries truth, I want to pause, not to ask, but to remind, when light meets shadow, it has to shine stronger. If these words have spoken life to you, if they've steadied your spirit, then share this flame. Let it reach someone else walking through the same fog. When you like this message, you're not just pressing a button, you're lighting a torch that tells heaven, I agree with this truth. Envo, when you share it, you become a carrier of light, scattering seeds into hearts you may never meet. And when you subscribe, you step closer to a community of other chosen ones who, like you, are learning to see clearly through the mist. This isn't marketing, it's ministry. We pass the torch because light multiplies only when it's given away. Imagine thousands of lights flickering across the world, each one a chosen soul refusing to surrender to darkness. That's what happens every time this message travels further. You become part of something much larger than yourself, a movement of awakening hearts. So keep your guard up, keep your heart soft, and keep your focus sharp. The voices in the shadows will lose strength as you walk toward your next dawn. Every step you take in faith silences another lie. And when you feel alone, remember, heaven has never stopped speaking. It's just been speaking through stillness. The quiet is not absence, it's intimacy. The light within you has not dimmed, it's being refined. You are closer to victory than you know. Chosen one. The air feels different today, doesn't it? It's as if heaven itself is holding its breath, because this is the hour when signs begin to appear. Not random occurrences, not coincidences, but divine fingerprints pressed onto the fabric of your reality. You might call them interruptions, but they are confirmations. You are standing in a sacred timeline where what is hidden begins to surface. The sign in the sky has already been written. Now your spirit must learn to read it. You may start noticing small disruptions, a conversation that stirs conviction, a dream that feels too real, a moment that feels like déjà vu. Heaven often speaks through symbols before it speaks through sound, but you have to slow down enough to see it. The danger of this generation is speed. Everyone is rushing through divine moments as if heaven runs on their schedule. But divine timing is not hurried. It waits for hearts, not calendars. The signs around you are not about superstition, they are about synchronization. When you see repeated patterns, when unexpected events seem to converge, it's not just life, it's the realm of spirit calling your attention. The problem is not that God is silent, it's that most have forgotten how to listen. But you, chosen one, are being retuned. Look up, look beyond. Heaven is sending visible echoes of its will. You might see a number, a symbol, a person crossing your path with uncanny timing. None of these things happen by chance. The sign is not the miracle, it's the message before the miracle. When you start to perceive it, your spirit aligns with heaven's rhythm. That alignment is what unlocks manifestation. But you must also remember that not every sign comes in beauty. Sometimes the sky darkens before revelation arrives. Lightning often precedes rainfall, and thunder announces transformation. The signs may look like endings, but they are only transitions wearing the mask of chaos. That friendship fading, that opportunity closing, that sudden solitude, those are all signs in disguise. They are heaven's way of clearing the path, so your purpose has room to unfold. When God is about to elevate you, He first disturbs your peace with holy discomfort. It's not because He wants to hurt you, but because He refuses to let you settle. Your spirit outgrows its old shell long before your life rearranges itself. That restlessness you feel lately is not rebellion, it's revelation pressing for release. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. That is not just comfort, it is confirmation. The signs are not coming to scare you, they are coming to steady you. When your world starts shaking, it means your promise is near. The same way a baby kicks before birth. Destiny trembles before delivery. Heaven is signaling that the new season is already in motion. So pay attention. Watch how creation itself seems to echo your prayers. The wind may feel different. The nights heavier. The mornings keener. Every shift around you mirrors the transformation within you. You are not losing control. You are being guided toward precision. When the divine wants to speak, it speaks in layers. The sky might change color. The right word might appear in a stranger's mouth. Or your heart might suddenly sense peace about something that once terrified you. Chosen one, you are not being paranoid. You are being awakened. You were made to notice what others ignore. This ability is not a curse, it is a calling. The spiritual realm trusts your sensitivity. When others rush, you pause. When others scroll, you listen. That sensitivity is your prophetic sight. It's how heaven reveals its blueprints before the world catches up. This Friday, when the signs become undeniable, don't dismiss them as coincidence. Respond. Whisper, I see you. Lord, smile through the uncertainty. Heaven loves when you notice. Every sign acknowledged becomes a seed of greater revelation. And now, as a seal of agreement, leave a prophetic sign of your own. Comment the number 9 below. Not for luck, not for ritual, but as an act of faith, because 9 represents divine completion before new beginnings. When you type it, you declare that your waiting season is rounding to its end. Your comment becomes more than words. It becomes witness. It tells heaven, I am awake. I recognize the signs. I will not miss this moment. And heaven responds to awareness faster than it does to anxiety. So, keep your eyes open. Chosen one. The signs will keep coming, some subtle, some sudden, but all with the same message. You are seen. You are led. You are not alone. Chosen one. The signs have been given. And now the moment has come to look inward. This is where the real test begins, not in the sky, not in the whispers of heaven, but in the mirror of obedience. The question before you is simple. What will you do when obedience costs you comfort? For every chosen one, there comes a defining hour where words no longer matter and only action speaks. You've already heard the instructions in your spirit. Maybe it was to release someone you've been holding in your heart too tightly. Maybe it was to step into a new path that feels uncertain. Maybe it was to stop hiding what God placed inside you. But heaven will not repeat what it has already spoken. It waits for your movement. The mirror never lies. It reflects not just your image, but your alignment. When you look into it now, heaven sees the difference between what you say and what you live. This test doesn't come to shame you. It comes to reveal where your loyalties still wrestle between fear and faith. Obedience is not about rules, it's about resonance. It's the moment your soul vibrates in harmony with divine rhythm. Every time you obey, the light within you brightens. Every time you delay, the reflection fades slightly. Heaven is not demanding perfection, it's asking for trust. The kind that moves, even when understanding has not yet arrived. Sometimes, obedience feels like walking blindfolded toward a door that might not open. It feels like giving without receiving, loving without return, serving without recognition. But those are the most powerful acts of all, because they are pure. Obedience that costs nothing, proves nothing. The crown is always found on the path of surrender. You see, chosen one, obedience is the language of love. When you act upon what heaven whispers, you declare, "I trust your voice more than my logic." The mirror shows heaven whether you truly mean those words. Many claim faith, but only the obedient demonstrate it. This is why you've been feeling that tug inside. Your next level requires immediate alignment, not partial submission. Sometimes, heaven hides rewards behind unreasonable instructions. Think of Naaman, the commander who had to dip 7 times in the muddy Jordan River before his leprosy vanished. Think of Peter, who had to cast his net one more time after a night of failure. Think of Abraham, called to offer the very promise he had waited decades to hold. Each of them looked foolish to human eyes, but divine wisdom often begins in what looks ridiculous. And what about you? What is heaven asking you to do that seems illogical right now? Is it forgiveness when the wound is still fresh? Is it silence when accusation surrounds you? Is it generosity when your own resources feel scarce? These are not coincidences, they are classroom moments. Heaven is checking if you can follow divine timing over human reasoning. The world rewards results, but heaven rewards obedience. You may not see the outcome immediately, but every act of surrender rearranges the unseen. Obedience opens doors you didn't even know existed. It is the currency of the kingdom, and every time you spend it, heaven records it. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 37, verse 5. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will do this. End of 4. There lies the mystery, he will do this. You obey, and heaven executes. You act in faith, and God completes what your strength cannot. The outcome is not your responsibility, obedience is. Chosen one, the mirror will not flatter you, but it will free you. It reveals what still resists surrender. Sometimes, it's not sin that holds you back, it's self. The desire to control, to calculate, to be sure before stepping. But the truth is, obedience rarely feels certain. It demands vulnerability, the courage to act without applause. You are being refined into someone who can be trusted with divine influence. The obedience you practice today becomes the authority you carry tomorrow. Every yes you whisper in the dark echoes loudly in the spiritual realm. That is why heaven tests you privately before announcing you publicly. So look again into the mirror, not with shame, but with honesty. Ask yourself, what instruction have I delayed obeying? Then take a breath and take the step. It may feel small, but heaven measures movement, not magnitude. One act of obedience can alter generations. And remember, beloved, the mirror of obedience is not a test to humiliate it. It is a window to elevation. Once you pass through it, your reflection will no longer show what you were, but what heaven has been shaping you to become. Chosen one. The mirror has done its work. You have seen yourself not as the world sees you, but as heaven does, unpolished yet precious, incomplete yet chosen. Now the test deepens, moving from obedience to endurance. You have entered what many call the wilderness season, but in heaven's language, it is the refining. This is the hour where you begin to feel the weight of isolation, the silence that seems endless, and the ache of walking without visible companionship. The weight of isolation is one of heaven's greatest mysteries. It is heavy enough to humble you, but holy enough to heal you. You have likely asked, "Why am I alone? Why does no one understand what I carry?" But this solitude is not rejection, it is separation for purification. Heaven often hides its strongest soldiers where no applause can reach them. The noise of the crowd must fade, so you can learn to recognize the whisper of God again. Isolation is not absence, it is incubation. Every calling must gestate in silence before it can manifest in sound. You cannot carry divine fire among those who only understand smoke. That is why God sometimes removes people from your path, not to punish you, but to preserve you. There are seasons when heaven will close every door, not because you are unworthy, but because your anointing is too delicate to be exposed too soon. Think of Joseph, betrayed and imprisoned before he ever touched a crown. Think of David, hidden among sheep before he stood before kings. Think of Moses, wandering the desert for decades before returning as deliverer. Isolation was their teacher, and endurance their graduation. Heaven hides greatness in obscurity because the unseen season shapes the strength that glory requires. You, chosen one, are now in that sacred in-between, the place where you are no longer who you were, but not yet who you will become. It is uncomfortable. Yes, the silence feels like abandonment. The waiting feels endless. But the truth is, this is the soil where endurance grows. And endurance is the proof that your faith has taken root. Do not despise this solitude. It is building muscles that crowds could never give you. You are learning to pray without prompting, to worship without witnesses, to believe without evidence. These are the disciplines of divine warriors. The world sees waiting as wasted time, but heaven sees it as weapon training. Sometimes, heaven removes comfort so you can rediscover conviction. When no one claps for you, you begin to remember who you are doing it for. When no one validates you, you learn to draw affirmation from the presence of God alone. This is the sacred secret of isolation. It strips you of dependency so that divine intimacy can take root. The prophet Elijah once sat beneath a tree, weary and alone, crying that his mission was too much to bear. Yet, it was in that solitude that heaven sent bread from angels and whispered a fresh instruction. The same pattern unfolds in your life now, where it feels like you've been forgotten. You are actually being fed. Where you feel trapped, you are being transformed. Scripture says in the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verse 2, "He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful." Then, you are not being cut off, you are being pruned. There's a difference. Pruning hurts, but it's holy. It means heaven sees fruit in you, worth refining. God would not take the time to trim what he did not plan to multiply. So endure. Chosen one, let the pruning happen. Let the silence stay as long as it must. You are not losing. Something greater is taking shape beneath the surface. Roots deepen in darkness. Diamonds are formed in pressure. Seeds die before they bloom. The solitude you despise is the soil of your strength. Soon, when the isolation lifts, you will notice something miraculous. You will not crave validation like before. You will walk lighter, speak wiser, and move with clarity. The noise that once distracted you will no longer disturb your peace. Because solitude is not the end of your story, it is the foundation of your authority. Hold this truth: you are never truly alone. Heaven is watching, shaping, and whispering through the stillness. Angels surround you, even when you cannot feel them. The silence of isolation is the sound of heaven working behind the scenes. And when this season breaks, you will emerge not just stronger, but sanctified. You will step into rooms you once felt unworthy of, and people will wonder how you carry such calm in your countenance. They won't know that your peace was born in the wilderness. Chosen one. Your isolation is not punishment, it's prophecy in disguise. Stay faithful, stay grounded. When heaven hides you, it's only because you're being prepared to shine brighter than before. Chosen one. The silence of isolation has not gone unnoticed. Heaven has seen your tears and your endurance. But now you stand at a more dangerous threshold, the hour of temptation. This is the place where everything you've endured will be tested in one final way. Will you choose what looks right or what feels right in your spirit? For just before every elevation, a counterfeit appears. Temptation does not come wrapped in darkness. It comes dressed as light. It looks like opportunity, but it carries decay in its core. It speaks the language of destiny, but hides motives of distraction. The enemy never offers you something ugly, he offers you something almost right. That almost has ruined more chosen ones than any visible sin. The hour of temptation is subtle. It might look like a job that promises wealth, but steals your peace. It might sound like a relationship that feels warm but dims your fire. It might even come as praise that tempts your pride to rise before your spirit is ready. The greatest dangers for the chosen are not curses, they are compromises that sound reasonable. You are not the first to face this crossroads. Even Jesus himself was tested in the wilderness. The tempter did not try to turn him into a monster. He tried to make him use divine power for selfish ends. That is the same strategy today, to tempt you to move ahead of God, to do the right thing at the wrong time, or to step into something good when heaven has promised something great. Every counterfeit comes right before the real. It is a spiritual mirage that tests whether you recognize the true sound of heaven. You'll know it's counterfeit when it rushes you. Heaven's doors open with peace, hell's traps open with pressure. If it's urgent, it's usually not holy. Chosen one. The temptation you're facing right now is tailored. The enemy has studied your weaknesses for years, and he knows exactly what voice, what face, what feeling could lure you back into patterns you've outgrown. But you are not the same as before. You've walked through too much fire to fall for the same flame twice. Do not let loneliness make you open doors God locked for your safety. Do not let hunger make you eat what was meant for sacrifice. The counterfeit always comes first, but patience always reveals the real. What's meant for you will not require begging, pretending, or betraying your peace. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 13, "No temptation has overtaken you, except what is common to man. God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear, but will provide a way out." That way out is already forming. Even as you read these words, the Holy Spirit never exposes danger without providing direction. There is an exit, but it requires your awareness. Heaven is not testing your strength, It's testing your discernment. Can you see the difference between delay and deception? Between comfort and counterfeit? Every temptation you overcome becomes a trophy in the spirit. It is proof that light still wins. Do not fear this hour. It's an announcement that promotion is near. If you were not close to breakthrough, the pressure wouldn't be this intense. The enemy doesn't fight what isn't a threat. Chosen one. Temptation always comes disguised as a shortcut. But shortcuts are costly. They take you off the map heaven designed for you. Stay steady. Breathe. Don't panic when the offer looks perfect. The true test of discernment isn't spotting evil. It's recognizing what looks almost good, but carries no life. When confusion tries to settle in your chest, whisper this: peace is my confirmation. If the peace of God fades, step back. If it grows stronger, move forward. The Spirit never leads through anxiety. He leads through assurance. And now, as a prophetic act of victory, I invite you to leave a declaration in the comments. I choose light. Then, type it with intention. Not as ritual, but as revelation. When you write those 3 words, you're drawing a line in the spirit. You're telling heaven and hell alike that no counterfeit can seduce your soul. You're announcing that your discernment has matured, that you recognize true light even when shadows imitate it. When you declare, I choose light, you remind yourself that temptation is temporary, but obedience is eternal. It is your way of saying, I will not sell destiny for distraction. This is your hour of proving. Beloved, and when you stand firm through this test, heaven will not just clap, it will commission. For those who choose light in the dark become carriers of it. For others still trapped in temptation's glow. Chosen one. The night is moving closer to midnight. The air is thick with a quiet tension, the kind that always comes before heaven's countdown. This is the hour when everything unseen begins to shift, when what you've prayed for in silence starts aligning in realms you cannot yet touch. But this is also the moment where your heart is measured more than your hands. Heaven's countdown does not mark time the way humans do. It's not the ticking of a clock. It's the rhythm of obedience, the pulse of surrender. Every heartbeat that still trusts God when logic fails becomes another second closer to breakthrough. The delay you feel is not denial, it's divine timing, catching up with your preparation. You may not see it, but heaven is already moving on your behalf. Angels are positioned, doors are unlocking quietly, and hearts are being softened in places you've never even been. The unseen is busy. Yet, the question heaven asks tonight is this: can you remain faithful while the unseen unfolds? When a farmer plants a seed, he doesn't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. He trusts the process of darkness. That's what heaven is asking of you now, to stay steady while the seed of your obedience germinates underground. The soil may feel silent, but silence is where growth hides its work. You've been through storms, betrayals, and long nights. Still, you stand. Still, you believe. That posture is what heaven is counting. It's not your perfection, but your persistence that draws divine attention. You may feel weary, but your endurance has become worship. Heaven is measuring your posture, not your pace. Every chosen one reaches this stage the moment before dawn, where everything feels suspended. This is when the mind screams for signs, but heaven whispers, just hold on. It's like being in the eye of a storm, calm yet surrounded by pressure. But here's the secret: when the storm is at its loudest, The victory is nearest. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 5, verse 4 remind us, perseverance produces character, and character, hope. Every second of your waiting is building something eternal within you. Hope isn't wishful thinking. It's divine endurance clothed in expectation. The countdown you sense is not a threat. It's a promise that the waiting is not endless. Imagine for a moment the final minutes before dawn. The world looks darker, quieter, as if the light forgot its way. But that silence is deceptive. It's actually the earth preparing to receive sunlight. Heaven works the same way. When everything feels still, something is rising. Chosen one. This is your midnight test. Not the kind that destroys, but the kind that distinguishes. Heaven is checking your posture under pressure. Do you still speak faith when fear knocks? Do you still worship when nothing changes? These small decisions weigh heavily on heaven's scale. You may not realize it, but people are watching your resilience, your silence, your peace, your calm in the storm. These are sermons that preach louder than words. You've become a living altar, where your endurance offers incense to heaven. Now, take a deep breath. Feel how this moment hums with unseen life. You are not forgotten in the darkness. You are being prepared to rise with it. And if these words resonate within your spirit, if they echo the quiet strength you've been trying to hold on to, then take this as your gentle reminder to pass the torch onward. When you like this message, it's not about numbers, it's about recognition. It's you saying, I see what heaven is doing, even if others don't. When you share it, you are sowing light into another weary heart. Someone standing at their own midnight. Perhaps your simple act of sharing becomes the sign that helps another soul hold on one more day. And when you subscribe, you're stepping into a circle of endurance, a fellowship of others who, like you, are waiting faithfully through the dark, learning to trust the countdown rather than fear it. Think of it as joining a watchtower where lights stay burning all night long, so no chosen one has to stand alone in their storm. These small actions, liking, sharing, subscribing, are not digital habits. They are spiritual echoes. Each one says, I'm still standing. I'm still believing. I'm still waiting for dawn. You nod, so hold steady. Chosen one, midnight will not last forever. Every second of surrender is another tick toward your transformation. When the countdown ends, it won't just be a change of time, it will be a change of identity. And when that dawn breaks, all the silence, all the waiting, all the unseen faith will make sense. Because heaven's clock never runs late, it just runs deep. Chosen one. The countdown has not stopped. And though you cannot hear the ticking, your spirit feels it. Each passing hour draws you closer to a revelation hidden beneath your endurance. The heavens have already begun to shift. The pressure around you, the strange heaviness, the bursts of emotion, the sudden clarity in your dreams, these are signs that the unseen army is already in motion. You may not see them, but you are not walking alone. The unseen realm is alive with activity, and the hosts of heaven have been dispatched on your behalf. They are not figments of faith, they are real, sent as reinforcements for the weary. When you prayed, even through tears, heaven recorded every syllable. Angels do not move at noise, they move at faith. Every whispered, God, I still trust you, has activated divine movement in places your eyes cannot reach. The realm of spirit operates with precision. When heaven declares movement, nothing in hell can resist it. That's why, lately, you've felt things both break and build around you at once. Relationships have shifted. Unexpected confrontations have surfaced. And emotions you thought buried have come back to light. Don't be alarmed. This shaking is proof that angelic forces are rearranging the landscape of your life, moving people and obstacles according to divine command. You see, chosen one, before heaven promotes you, it always cleans your atmosphere. Angels are custodians of calling. They remove what cannot travel with you. Every tear you've cried has watered the soil where breakthrough must grow. But breakthrough cannot bloom in contaminated ground. That's why heaven is purging what you once held dear. Why certain comforts have been stripped away. Why peace now comes only from presence, not from people. The angels assigned to your journey are not silent guardians. They are workers, builders, defenders. Some fight unseen battles for your safety. Others open invisible gates for your advancement. You might think the delay is punishment, but in truth, it's protection. The heavenly army moves on divine timing, and when they clear the path, your next step will not be struggle, it will be effortless acceleration. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Stillness doesn't mean inaction, it means trust. To stand still is to acknowledge that the battle is no longer yours. When you release control, heaven releases assistance. But when you grip too tightly, even angels must wait. For heaven will never wrestle with your will. Sometimes, the fiercest battles are not fought on your knees, but within your mind. The moment you choose peace over panic, the war shifts in your favor. The moment you choose silence over argument, heaven begins to roar on your behalf. The moment you stop trying to force what only faith can finish, the angels receive permission to act. Do you remember those times you narrowly escaped disaster? When timing seemed impossibly perfect? That was not coincidence, it was coverage. The same unseen hands that saved you then are working again now. You've been protected from accidents you never saw, from conversations that could have broken you, from doors that looked appealing but hid ruin behind them. You call it luck, heaven calls it strategy. Chosen one. This is not a season of striving, it is a season of surrender. Angels are aligning your path, but they cannot walk for you. They clear the terrain, but the steps are yours to take. Do not fear what you cannot control. Embrace what you can. Faith, prayer, and stillness. You are part of something orchestrated far beyond what you can comprehend. There are moments when your obedience triggers movement across realms. A simple act of forgiveness may free a generation. A quiet prayer at midnight may summon angelic help to another continent. You don't see the ripple, but heaven does. Even now, angels stand guard over your promise, watching to ensure that no counterfeit slips through as fulfillment. They hover over your household, your mind, your next decision. You've felt their presence as goosebumps, sudden warmth, or inexplicable calme during chaos. These are not mere feelings, they are confirmations of divine company. Hold your peace. Chosen one. You are surrounded by light in motion. The warfare around you is not proof of defeat, It is the sound of heaven's army clearing your path. The storm you sense is not a threat, it's a processional. The King is preparing to walk through your circumstance, and the angels march before him to make the crooked places straight. So breathe deeply. Let your shoulders relax. Trust the unseen. Heaven is not ignoring you. It's working in silence so that when you rise, the victory will already be complete. When you wake tomorrow, do not say, "Nothing has changed." Whisper instead, "Something has shifted." Because even if you can't see it yet, your angels are already on assignment. Chosen one, the heavens have moved. The angels have gone before you, and the atmosphere around your life has shifted. But now comes the moment of confirmation. This is the part of the journey where heaven seals what it has started, and signs begin to align like constellations over your destiny. What once looked like coincidence now reveals itself as coordination. The very days that felt random are being rearranged into a divine pattern. You have stepped into the realm of prophetic numbers, sacred codes that heaven uses to communicate timing and completion. They are not superstition, they are synchronization. Every number in Scripture carries a vibration, a hidden meaning, a whisper from eternity. And the one assigned to this moment, your moment, is 777. 7 is the number of divine perfection, the mark of completion, the signature of God saying, "It is finished." 3 sevens, layered together, mean a triple confirmation: heaven, earth, and spirit agreeing at once. It is the sound of divine fulfillment echoing through your life. You are walking through the gate of 777, the realm where delay ends and manifestation begins. Chosen one, look around you. The clues are already appearing. Old prayers are resurfacing. Long-closed opportunities are reawakening. You are beginning to see glimpses of promises that once felt forgotten. The enemy tried to convince you that silence meant rejection. But now, heaven reveals what was really happening. You weren't being denied, you were being developed. Completion does not come without contradiction. Before every victory, there is a test of vision. Before you see the finished work, you must trust the unfinished process. That's why lately you've been tested in patience, trust, and perception. Heaven was preparing your eyes to recognize the full picture when it finally appeared. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 22. The least of you will become 1,000, the smallest a mighty nation. I am the Lord. In its time, I will do this swiftly. 1. Swiftly. That is the word hovering over you. What took years of waiting will begin to move in moments. But this acceleration is not chaos, it is completion. God has weighed your faith, measured your endurance, and found you ready. The slow pace was never punishment, it was calibration. Think of a clock that suddenly strikes the exact hour after ticking in silence. That's your life now, divine timing, striking its appointed moment. Doors that refused to open before will now unlock with grace. Connections that broke will return, restored. Even the pain that shaped you will become purpose you can use to heal others. But as this acceleration unfolds, heaven calls for awareness. You must stay aligned in gratitude, humility, and discipline. Completion is not the end of the journey, it is the preparation for expansion. You are not finishing, you are shifting into a greater dimension of stewardship. And as you stand beneath this divine alignment, heaven invites you to make a prophetic response. not through fear, not through striving, but through declaration. Comment the number 3 below. Do it not for ritual, but for revelation. The number 3 represents divine agreement. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit moving as one. It symbolizes unity, resurrection, and confirmation. When you type 3, you are declaring, I agree with heaven's timing. I am aligned with divine completion. Onike. Every number typed becomes an echo in eternity, a signal of readiness. It tells the unseen realm that you recognize the shift. You are not wandering, you are awakening. Chosen one. The door before you is not new. It's the same one you knocked on long ago. The difference is that now you are ready to walk through it. What once required effort will now respond to presence. Where you used to push, you will now flow. That's what completion looks like, not the end of struggle, but the beginning of ease born from alignment. Remember, the same God who brought you through wilderness, warfare, and waiting now calls you into rest, not idleness. But divine rhythm. You no longer chase blessings. Blessings recognize your address. Heaven is not coming, it's already here, folding its will into your reality. Take a deep breath. Chosen one. Feel the shift around you. This is the moment where all the unseen labor, all the hidden obedience, all the silent tears converge into visible testimony. You have entered the dimension of 777, the place where the story comes full circle. Your waiting season has not been wasted. It has been woven into a masterpiece, a divine completion signed with your name. Heaven smiles upon you tonight, not because you were perfect, but because you were patient, and patience, in the eyes of eternity, is proof of faith. Chosen one. The number has been sealed, and heaven's rhythm moves through your veins. The atmosphere feels different, now lighter, but charged. You can sense that something around you has shifted, though you cannot yet name it. What you are entering now is the unmasking. It is the hour when hidden truths come to light, when illusions fall apart, and when the people and situations around you reveal what they have truly been carrying all along. Every chosen one must walk through this stage. It is a spiritual audit, a revealing of motives, yours and others. Heaven cannot send you higher while you are surrounded by half-truths and counterfeit loyalties. The light of purpose demands transparency. When the unmasking begins, it may look like betrayal, but it's really mercy in disguise. God exposes what could have destroyed you later by revealing it now. There are people who loved you for your potential but not your purpose. When the light of calling shines, it divides intentions like a sword. Some hearts that once clapped for you will now fall silent, not because they hate you, but because your growth confronts their comfort. You are not losing them. You are learning who they truly are. The unmasking is also internal. It's not just about others, it's about you. Heaven holds up a mirror that forces you to see where pride has disguised itself as strength, where fear has dressed up as wisdom, where doubt has worn the costume of humility. The Spirit is peeling away every layer that doesn't belong to your true identity. This exposure may sting, but it is sacred surgery. We find in the book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 13, "Nothing in all creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before the eyes of Him to whom we must give account." Aveni, you cannot hide from light. And you shouldn't want to, for only what is revealed can be healed. Only what is uncovered can be purified. Heaven is not trying to embarrass you, it's preparing you. The purity of your next assignment requires clarity, and clarity demands light. Think of a goldsmith refining metal. The fire doesn't destroy the gold, it draws the impurities to the surface. The unmasking is that fire. The moments that make you uncomfortable are the flames that separate what is authentic from what is artificial. You may lose pieces of yourself, but what remains will be real. Do not panic as these exposures happen. When truth rises, falsehood falls. Some connections will fade quietly. Others will exit loudly. Either way, let them go. You are not being punished. You are being purified. The circle around you is tightening, but not to confine you, to concentrate you. Heaven is reducing noise so your vision can sharpen. During unmasking, emotions can run high. Confusion, sadness, even anger may try to take root. Remember, revelation is not rejection. When heaven reveals something painful, it's because healing is on the other side of it. The same fire that exposes also cleanses. And soon, what was once chaos will settle into clarity. Chosen one. The unmasking is also a promotion in disguise. It is the proof that heaven trusts you with truth. Not everyone can handle revelation. Some run from what light reveals. But you, refined through trials and matured through silence, can now see through appearances without losing compassion. You can discern without despising. That is the mark of spiritual authority. As these masks fall, you'll begin to notice a shift in atmosphere. The air around you will feel cleaner. Your discernment will sharpen. The heaviness that once lingered after certain conversations will disappear. Peace will settle where confusion once lived. The unmasking always leaves peace in its wake, because truth and peace are twins in the spirit. When this is done, you will not look at people the same way, not with suspicion, but with wisdom. You will bless those who left, because you'll understand they were part of the pruning, not the problem. You will forgive, not because they deserve it, but because freedom deserves you. The season of unmasking is not comfortable, but it is holy. It is heaven's way of aligning everything around you to match what has already changed within you. And when it's over, the faces that remain near you will not just be familiar, they will be faithful. You will walk lighter because you'll no longer carry illusions. You'll speak clearer because your voice will no longer compete with noise. And you will stand taller because truth always raises what deception tried to bury. Chosen one. Let the light do its work. Let every mask fall. What remains will not only be enough, it will be divine. Chosen one. After the unmasking comes stillness, the quiet after the storm. The light has exposed everything that could no longer travel with you. And now the air feels strangely empty. This emptiness is not a void, it is space. Heaven has cleared the atmosphere around you so that something pure can now be born. But before new things emerge, you must face the final internal threshold, the moment of surrender. Surrender is not defeat. It is the act of handing your will back to the one who gave it. It's the soft exhale after years of trying to control outcomes, defend yourself, and force divine timing into human calendars. You have fought long and hard. Chosen one. And heaven has watched every effort. But the next level of your calling cannot be won by effort. It must be received through surrender. This is the moment where heaven gently asks for what you love most. It might not be a person or possession. Sometimes it's an idea, a dream, or an identity. The question rises quietly in your spirit. If I asked for it back, would you still trust me? That is the final test. Surrender does not mean loss. It means returning the pen to the author. You've been writing chapters on your own, but now heaven wants to take back the ink. Every chosen one faces this crossroad. Abraham faced it on the mountain with Isaac. Hannah faced it when she dedicated Samuel back to God. Even Jesus faced it in Gethsemane, whispering, "Not my will, but yours." This sacred pattern is how heaven seals divine partnership. You may feel heaven asking for something that feels impossible to let go of. You've prayed for it, fought for it, maybe even built your identity around it. But surrender is not God trying to take something from you, it's Him trying to give something through you. The thing you release becomes the seed of something far greater. What you keep in fear stays small. What you place in His hands multiplies. Think of a clenched fist. It can protect what's inside, but it can never receive more. Surrender opens the hand. It says, "Even if I lose everything, I will not lose peace." That posture is where miracles find room to land. You may have reached the edge of your strength, and that's exactly where surrender begins. When your strategies fail and your emotions drain, that's when heaven's grace steps in. You were never designed to carry this much weight alone. The calling you bear is heavy because it was meant to be shared. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 25, "For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it." To lose is to find. That paradox holds the key to your next season. The thing you fear releasing may actually be the very thing keeping you from elevation. Heaven cannot fill hands that are full of control. Surrender empties the vessel so the Spirit can pour freely. Chosen one. This surrender will not happen in one dramatic moment. It will unfold through quiet, daily choices. Each time you choose peace over pride, that is surrender. Each time you stop explaining yourself and trust God's vindication, that is surrender. Each time you forgive without closure, you lay something sacred on the altar. Surrender is not weakness, it's strength refined. It's the choice to remain soft in a world that hardens hearts. It's courage disguised as stillness. When others fight for attention, you rest in purpose. When others chase validation, you chase presence. That's what sets the chosen apart. Heaven delights in surrendered vessels. They are easy to fill, quick to move, light to carry. The surrendered soul becomes like water. It flows, it bends, it adapts, but it cannot be broken. That's what God is shaping you into, not rigid, but resilient. This moment may feel heavy, but it's sacred. Heaven never asks for surrender without preparing resurrection. Every time something leaves your hands, resurrection power enters your story. You will not end this season in loss. You will end it lighter, freer, and more aligned. Let this truth rest inside you. Surrender is not a moment, it's a rhythm. Each breath you release in trust is worship. Each quiet yes is a melody. Heaven hears louder than shouts. You are learning the sound of peace, the sound that only surrendered souls can make. Chosen one. Release what you must. Let go without resentment. What leaves now was never meant to define you. What stays will carry you. The altar you build today becomes the foundation of your next miracle. And when you look back, you will realize you never lost anything. You simply made room for glory. Chosen one. The altar has been built. You have laid down what you love, and heaven has received it. The silence that followed was not absence, it was acceptance. Now, the atmosphere thickens again. For this is the turning point of the story, the hour where heaven determines whether you wear the crown or the chain. This is not judgment, it is revelation. The crown and the chain are both forged in fire, but they carry opposite meanings. One binds you to fear, the other binds you to destiny. Both are offered in the same moment, through the same test. What will you do with the power of choice? Every chosen one must face this moment of spiritual coronation. It does not happen in a palace, but in the battlefield of obedience. The crown is not placed on your head, it grows from your heart. And the chain, too, is not forged by enemies, it is formed by hesitation, by compromise, by the quiet surrender of conviction. But if fear wins, if comfort whispers louder than calling, the chain begins to form. It's invisible at first, just small links of excuses and doubt, each one seemingly harmless. Yet over time, they weigh down the wings of your spirit. That's why heaven warns you now, do not let comfort cage you. You've come too far to trade purpose for peace that isn't real. The difference between the crown and the chain is focus. The chain looks at what was lost. The crown looks at what's being built. The chain remembers pain. The crown remembers promise. The chain says, "I'm not enough." The crown replies, "God is." No. As the apostle wrote in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8, "There is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the judge, will award to me and to all who long for his appearing." That is your inheritance. Chosen one, the crown of righteousness, not of perfection, but of perseverance. It is not earned by being flawless, but by remaining faithful. You have endured the breaking, the pruning, the isolation, the fire. Now heaven asks only one thing. Will you continue to walk as if you already wear the crown? Because you do. You may not feel it yet, but the light around your life has changed. The authority you carry now unsettles darkness without you even speaking. People will notice the difference. Some will be drawn to it. Others will be disturbed by it. Both reactions are proof that the crown is real. And now, as this truth settles into your spirit, I want to speak to the human part of you, the part that still doubts, still hesitates, still wonders if you are truly chosen. You are. This message didn't find you by chance. Heaven orchestrated it as a reminder that you have already passed through too much fire to return to the ashes. If these words have touched your heart, if something deep inside whispers, "This is for me," then let that recognition become your act of gratitude, not a performance, but a pulse of faith. Like this message, not for numbers, but as a sign of agreement that you choose your crown, not your chain. When you share it, imagine you are placing a key into someone else's hand, someone standing at their own crossroads, unsure which voice to trust. Your simple act of sharing could be the spark that helps them recognize their own crown. And when you subscribe, you aren't joining a crowd, you're joining a circle of believers walking the same narrow road. It's like lighting a lantern and lifting it high. so that others on this dark path can find their way by your flame. Finally, take a moment to comment below. Speak from the heart, one sentence, one phrase, one prayer that marks your decision. It could be as simple as, "I choose my crown," because every declaration you make in faith becomes an echo heaven hears and records. This is not about content, it's about covenant. When you engage, you affirm that you are part of something living, something divine. You turn a digital moment into a spiritual altar. Chosen one. Heaven has seen your endurance, your tears, your surrender. The crown is not coming, it's already hovering over your life, waiting for you to stand tall enough to wear it. And when you do, the same fire that once tested, you will now light your way. So rise, adjust your posture, lift your gaze. The crown fits. Chosen one. The crown has settled on your spirit. You may not see it in the mirror, but heaven recognizes the glow of authority upon your life. It is the radiance that only comes after surrender, the quiet power born from being broken, emptied, and then rebuilt by divine hands. Now you stand on the edge of a new dawn. The test is ending, and the light of fulfillment begins to rise. But before the morning fully breaks, heaven always grants a moment of reflection, a pause to understand the purpose behind the pain. You've come so far, and it's easy to forget what the wilderness taught you. Yet every scar on your soul tells a story written in obedience. The dawn you're stepping into was bought with nights of faithfulness. Look around your life. Chosen one. The people have changed. The rhythm has changed. And even your thoughts feel different. What used to provoke fear now only stirs peace. What used to break you now builds you. That's how you know transformation has taken root, not by the removal of struggle, but by the reversal of response. The same storms that once made you tremble now remind you that you survived. You have crossed the hardest part, the in-between where you could neither go back nor see ahead. That's where heaven does its finest work, shaping warriors from wanderers, builders from the broken. Every tear, every delay, every unanswered question has been used to sharpen discernment and deepen compassion. You no longer see life through the lens of pain, but through purpose. The dawn, after the test, is unlike any other dawn. It doesn't just bring light, it brings revelation. The things that confused you now make sense. You begin to see how every detour was direction in disguise, how every closed door was divine protection, how even your mistakes became materials in heaven's architecture. Nothing was wasted. We find in the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 20, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish the saving of many lives." That verse isn't just history, it's prophecy over your life. What was meant to harm you has become holy ground. The same wounds that once bled now heal others. The same voice that once shook in fear now carries authority. The same isolation that once broke your heart now anchors your peace. Heaven has turned harm into harvest. As dawn unfolds, you will notice how people start to return, some with apologies, others with curiosity. But you are not the same. Your spirit has matured beyond the need for validation. Forgiveness will come easily, not because you've forgotten, but because freedom matters more than revenge. You've learned that peace is the greatest proof of growth. The dawn also brings responsibility. With new authority comes new stewardship. Heaven trusts you with influence, but not for status, it's for service. You will be sent to lift others who are still in the dark places you once survived. Your story becomes a map for those who have lost their way. You will not need to preach loudly. Your presence will preach silently. People will sense safety in your calm, hope in your endurance. You have become a living testimony. This new day will not be without challenges, but your relationship with trials will change. You will no longer ask, "Why me?" but rather, "What are you forming through me?" Pain will no longer trigger panic. It will trigger prayer. You'll recognize that even pressure is a language heaven speaks in. The dawn after the test also exposes one more truth. You were never waiting on God. He was waiting on you to grow into what He promised. The moment you matured, the atmosphere adjusted. That is why everything is now accelerating. Promises that once felt far are approaching quickly because you finally align with them in character, not just in desire. You've become the kind of person heaven can trust, with visibility without vanity, with power without pride. That's what the test was for, to prove that your heart would remain soft, even when strength returned. And it has. Chosen one. This dawn marks not the end of your journey, but the beginning of your commission. The trials were your training. The silence was your schooling. You carry a wisdom now that books cannot teach and platforms cannot give. Heaven refined you privately so you could stand publicly with humility. As the first light spreads, breathe deeply. The heaviness of old battles lifts. The confusion of delay dissolves. What's ahead is clarity pure, golden, and steady. The world will soon see what heaven has long known, that your endurance was not wasted, and your faith was not forgotten. This is the dawn after the test. Step into it slowly, gratefully, and boldly. You have survived the night. And more than that, you have been transformed by it. The sun does not rise to remind the darkness of its failure. It rises simply because light was always destined to win. Chosen one. The dawn has arrived in full. The light that once seemed distant now rests gently upon your path. You no longer strain your eyes to see what's ahead. The horizon itself has come closer. Every shadow that chased you has fallen behind. Heaven's verdict is sealed. You have passed the test. This moment, quiet, yet thunderous in the spirit, is not simply an ending, it is a coronation. The trials that once terrified you were not meant to destroy you, they were meant to unveil you. You have emerged from the fire, not burned, but brightened. What once broke you has become the proof of your becoming. In heaven's eyes, every wound you carry now glows with light. The cracks in your armor shimmer like stained glass, testifying to the grace that carried you through. You are living proof that mercy doesn't erase scars, it transforms them into markings of divine ownership. Now, the weight you feel in your chest is not fear, it's glory settling upon you. The air feels thicker because presence has become tangible. Heaven recognizes you not as a wanderer, but as a warrior who endured. You've moved from the question of "Why me?" to the declaration of "Send me." This is what victory feels like in the kingdom. It's quiet, humble, but undeniably radiant. You've walked through every chamber of the refining, the warning, the trap, the delay, the test, the silence, the sign, the obedience, the isolation, the temptation, the countdown, the angelic help, the completion, the unmasking, the surrender, the crown, the dawn, and now, The declaration. Heaven's final word over you is not survival, it's dominion. The world will look at you and see strength. But heaven sees something far deeper: alignment. Your will has melted into divine will. Your decides purified into destiny. That's why everything now feels lighter. Resistance has lost its grip. You are no longer being pulled in two directions. You are whole. As was written in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 12, "The one who is victorious, I will make a pillar in the temple of my God. Never again will they leave it. I will write on them the name of my God and the name of the city of my God." That scripture is not about distance, it's about dwelling. You have become a pillar, not a passerby. You are not merely touched by presence, you carry it. Wherever you stand, atmosphere shifts. Wherever you speak, hearts awaken. The mark of God upon your life is not loudness, it is stability. Others will lean on you because you no longer bend with every storm. But this victory is not without purpose. It comes with assignment. The strength you now carry was never meant to remain contained. It is meant to be poured out. The mantle of the chosen is not a trophy, but a torch. You are being called to light the way for those still wandering in the dark corridors you once knew too well. You will not need to force your influence. It will flow naturally, like rivers following the pull of gravity. The same spirit that led you through wilderness will now lead others through you. Every lesson, every scar, every surrender has become a language heaven can now use through your life. You are no longer just a receiver of messages, you are a messenger. And yet, remember this: glory does not remove humility. The closer you walk with light, the gentler you must become, for power without compassion burns instead of warms. Heaven trusts you precisely because your heart remains soft in the storm. Keep that tenderness. It is the crown's true weight. You may wonder, what now? The answer is simple. Live as light. Walk with quiet confidence. Speak truth softly but firmly. Let love lead every word, every gesture, every choice. Your victory is not meant to be boasted, it is meant to be embodied. The world around you will begin to respond differently. Opportunities will open, not through striving, but through resonance. People will be drawn to your peace more than your power. They will ask, "What changed?" And you will know the change was not external, it was eternal. Chosen one. The final declaration over your life is not shouted, it is whispered in heaven's tone. Well done. Those two words carry the weight of eternity. You have proven that faith can survive fire, that obedience can outlast opposition, and that love can remain pure even in pain. From this day forward, you walk not as one being tested, but as one entrusted. Heaven has placed its seal on your name, its authority in your words, and its light in your eyes. You are no longer waiting for destiny, you are walking in it. Chosen one. This is where the message rests. Though its echo will not fade, you've walked through every chapter, felt every tremor, and now you stand clothed in light. Heaven's assignment has been spoken over your life. You are not just called, you are confirmed. If these words have stirred something inside you, let that stirring become movement, like this message, not out of habit, but as a symbol that you recognize the voice of truth when you hear it. Share it, not for numbers, but so another wandering soul might find their way home through the same flame that found you. Take a moment to comment below, speak a line of gratitude. A prayer, a declaration of faith. Your words can ripple through unseen hearts, carrying healing where silence once lived. And if you feel drawn to remain in this flow of revelation, subscribe, not as a follower, but as a companion in the journey, one who listens when heaven speaks, one who stands when the world trembles. Carry this message with reverence. You are not at the end, you are at the beginning of a brighter dawn. The crown fits, the fire is over, and destiny has begun.